Well, today I'm going to do another box because I love these boxes and they are so cheap to get hold of, especially in the UK. I think this cost me £4. Now, I am going to adapt it on the inside again using my X-Tools D1 laser. So check that out coming up shortly. But what I'm going to do is I want to have this as a Clossoni top, but without too much effort. I'm going to show you a simple way that I know to do a Clossoni top. First of all, I do need to take the lid off, take off all the brass bits, and then paint the top using a white acrylic paint. And these come off really, really easily. Now, my advice to you would be, once you've taken these off, put your little screws and all your bits in a safe place. Now, I'm working on a couple of boxes at the moment, so for different projects, and I've got all the bits in this pot, and I know exactly where they are for when I want them, because I used to put them in a safe place, and then I could never find them again. Or I'd drop them on the floor or knock them over, because I just is not a careful craft. I ought to have that on a t-shirt, shouldn't I? I'm not going to prime it. There's no need to prime this wood. It will just cover nicely with this white. And I'm also going to go down the sides of this lid purely because it just will give me a neater finish once I've done. And if I want to change the colour of the box later, I can. Brushing out all my brush marks so they're all going the same way. And not only that, but it gives it a much more even coat of the white on the top. My box lid is all nice and dry now. I did dry it with a hairdryer, I have to be honest. And I'm going to change over the hinges. So I'm going to put the hinges so they're on the back and the clasp so it's on the front. So this actual box will open that way up, because I think it's going to be better for the picture that I've chosen to put on it. And I'm going to put this picture of Anubis and Horace on it. And this is probably one of my favourite pictures out of my Mythical Creatures colouring book. And I've got several colouring books available. They're really great value, and I'll put the link for those in the description below. And I really have no problems how people use them. So if you want to use them, make something like this with them, sell it, go ahead and do that. So all I need to do now is transfer this image onto here, and I will do that using some carbon paper. And it will transfer onto the box really well, especially now that I've got a white lid on it. And all I'm going to do is pop the carbon paper onto the picture like this, so it's covering it all up. Put it in the position that I want it to be, and I want it to be about there. Make sure that everything's going to get in, which it is. And then I will tape that down so it doesn't move around too much while I'm transferring the image over. I have to make sure as well that I have got my carbon paper up the right way, because I have done it so many times where it's not been. But yes, it is, so that's unusual. I would strongly recommend that whenever you're doing something like that, if you don't need the picture and you're not too worried about it and you're doing it on wood, I would actually do it using a ballpoint pen, because not only can you get a really good result using a ballpoint pen, but it also leaves a mark in the wood itself. Now, I don't mind that at this stage. In fact, if anything, it's going to be really helpful for me to have that. If you don't want that mark, then use a soft pencil, which will work really well as well. I will start in one place and I will go around fairly firm pressure and put my piece onto this box. There's always a bit I miss, but I can always add that on towards the end. Well, this should have come out. Let's have a look, because I did push quite hard. I can feel I've pushed quite hard by the way that the carbon paper is coming off. It's really quite well embedded in there. I just find if it doesn't come off, then putting a bit of tape on it like that really does help. It means I can still use the carbon paper again, and also it's not going to leave too much of it behind. And there we are. So we've got that image now transferred onto there, and I think that's looking quite nice. It's quite central considering where that bit is, and I think that'll work quite well as the box going up and down like that. The next stage is to emboss this, and I'm just using an embossing powder, and all I'll use is these embossing pens. Firstly, I go over it with my anti-static bag, because I want to make sure that when I do put the embossing powder on, it only sticks to where I want it to stick. Here I will go over this hat first, putting down my embossing glue on here like that, and then putting the embossing powder on it while it's still wet. The embossing powder is on there, and I shall go around the whole thing like that ensuring that I've got a great coating of embossing powder on there before I heat it up. So I've decided to emboss as I go because I keep knocking off the embossing powder and I don't want to have to do that. I keep putting my arm through it. And I will do this 2 layers of embossing powder and you'll see the massive difference that will make as well once you get 2 layers of it on there. Well, that's the first layer done, and as you can see, it's embossed really well. Now, what'll happen is with the second layer, it will give it a bit more height, and it'll also make it look a little bit more solid. But that's finished now, and it's had 2 layers, and all it needs for me to do now is fill all this in, and I will follow the picture that I'd already done, so I know exactly what I want to put where, and I think you'll agree that has come out really nice. I finished painting it and putting all the details in that I want to put into the actual Anubis and Horus, and I don't think it's come out bad at all, considering it was quite fine work, and I have a tremor. So I'm really quite pleased with it. I'm really pleased with how the box is looking. I've painted the sides ultramarine blue and red inside, and I've given it a coat of satin varnish as well. I didn't want the sides to be too glossy, and the top is looking amazing. I will show you that shortly. I want to cover the base. Normally I'd put a bit of felt or something on it, but I want to put something a little bit different on it. So what I'm going to do is use this white and some black foam and do a checkerboard effect on this base. I've got them all cut now, and what I'm going to use is some good old wood glue to stick these on with. Now, wood glue is lovely and thick, and it also sticks these really well. So I'm going to coat it on here. It will dry clear, so if it does go over the sides, it's not going to mess up anything that I've already done. Then if there's any slight overlap at all on any of the sides, I can just go around and give it a quick trim afterwards. And the reason I'm doing it like this is because I didn't have enough of white or enough of black. Make it a little bit nicer as a finish. Because normally, as people often comment, I forget about the base. I'm going to put a weight on the bottom of that. All I'm using is my blocks of resin that I have left over. When people send me resin, and if I don't like the resin, I don't do a review of it, because I'm very fussy. I'll only recommend stuff that I believe in, because these weights come in so handy. I'm going to leave that to dry for about an hour or so. That's all dried nicely. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I think that finishes that base off lovely. And now it's just time to make a decision on where I'm going to put all these cartouches. Now, because this box is going to open up that way, I really want the front of the box, which is going to be here, to be the place where the cartouches go. However, what I have also realised is this is quite a deep box for what it's going to be used for. So I'm thinking of actually putting another little layer in this, which I'm going to cut out using my X-Tools D1 laser. Now, I should have done this prior to painting it all so I could clamp all the side bits in, but not to worry. I can show you how I'm going to get over that. I've cut a couple of pieces of wooden dowel out that fit in there, and that's going to hold the little tray in. All I'm going to use is some wood glue on there, and I'm going to paint it on because I don't want too much squeezing out, and then line it up and make sure it's correct. I put a couple of marks in there so I know roughly where it should be. That will stay on there, but obviously I want to clamp it on. I'm putting a piece of cardboard here to protect the box while I clamp it on, because I don't want to clamp it on and then it take all the paint off or do some damage to the box. And I don't need to do them too tight, just tight enough where they make a great seal. I've uploaded an image of a square because that's all I need for the base, and I've also framed it and got everything set up. So all I need to do is push start. That is the beauty of the X-Tools. Now the noise you can hear is my extractor fan, and now with the honeycomb base, that smoke, as you'll see, will just get straight out of there. So all I need to do is push start and off it goes. Well, I've cut all my bits out for my tray, and I also put some circles in it there so it's easier to lift it out. And all I'm going to do is just do a quick sand around the edges of those circles so they're not sharp. Not that they are, because the laser doesn't really cut them sharp. So I'm going to glue and clamp these sides onto here like this to make the tray. Well, this is the lid, and I'm really pleased with how it's come out. I've done the background of this a terracotta and give it a matte varnish, and then the actual people themselves, Anubis and Horace, painted those and then gave them a gloss varnish so that they would shine up. And I really like this terracotta background, but I do think it just gives it a little bit of a plain finish, and I don't want this box in any way to be plain. So I'm going to be doing a cheats way of adding some gold leaf. Now, if I was to paint on the gold leaf glue, I would not get that in a nice straight line. So what I'm going to be using is this double-sided sticky tape and then lining it up on this box so that I can get it as neat as possible and in as straight a line as possible. And because this is already varnished, this will adhere to here really well. And then before I finish anyway, I probably will go over and re-varnish all these pieces. Got my gold leaf out now. I've got the double-sided tape on both edges there. And all I'm going to do is place my box down onto this gold leaf and then pull it away gently using my blade. Tidy this up in a minute anyway. Now, this isn't real gold leaf. This is the fake gold leaf because it's so much cheaper, but I love it. I think it gives a really nice effect. I know this is a cheats way, but it works and it makes life a little bit easier when you're trying to do a nicer, neater edge like that. Because there's no way with my shaky hands that I would have ever been able to have got a nice, neat, straight edge like that. Well, all the bits are finished now and the tray fits in lovely. Look at that. So you can pick it up either that way or you can pick it up either that way. And I've put all the cartouches and the bits around it as well. I know it might be a bit the case of over gilding the lily, but that's me all over, so I don't really mind. Now it's all about putting the lid onto the box, and because I've changed the way that it's going to hinge, then I need to put the hinges on in a different place. And all I will do to put those on is line the lid up like this. I'm happy with that. And then mark where the hinges have got to go using a little bradawl and then screw in all the bits. And I have got them and they're not lost and they've all been kept safe because I put them somewhere safe to start with, which is so unlike me. And then just go round and finish putting those on, which I'll do now, and then I'll show you all finished. The box is all finished now. I've put it all together and I'm so pleased with it. And I think the person I've made this for is absolutely going to love it. I hope they do, because I love it. The embossing has worked out really, really well, and it's covered lovely, and that was a simple technique. All these techniques are really simple. The inside of the box, I think, has come out well, and it all lifts out. And the little tray was absolutely, took me, what, 10 minutes probably to make. That is the benefit of having an X-Tools D1 laser. You can get such precision cuts on it and make such great things that don't have to be complex, although you can make some complex things with it as well. The tray fits in there lovely, and I'm really pleased with all the decorations that I've done around the edge. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. Would you like someone to give you this as a gift? If you've enjoyed this project and you want to learn more about the boxes and things that I make, then I'll link some more at the end of this video. So be sure to check those out because I think you'll really enjoy them. Please boot that like button. It really does help my videos to get out there. And I'll leave the description to everything that I've used today, including the X-Tools D1 laser, in the description below. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.